Good morning, everyone. Got my best bud Matthew with me here this morning. We have to do a little bit of maintenance work today. We've got to change the oil on the John boat, service the lower unit. I already put a water pump in about 10 hours ago, so I'm not too worried about that, but we're going to replace the lower unit gear oil, put some new oil in it, new oil filter, and also I guess we'll probably have to replace our brake light since we lost it on our bumpy road here a while back. So we're just going to work on that this morning, and hopefully everything will go good. All right, let's get started. All right, so first things first, let me get the oil pan over here. All right, oil pan. The way that you drain the oil on this engine I've found interesting since I got it, because it comes out of the side over here instead of coming out in like the bottom where the other one came out at. So I found darn it, get back up there. The best thing to do is to lift the engine a little bit and tilt it. And then that allows the oil to just drain straight out the side there. Oh, my goodness. All right. We'll let that drain for a couple of minutes. While that drains, we'll get all of our stuff cleaned up nice and neat. Put a new crush washer on that. Right, that has a potential to make a mess right there. All right, so now we're just going to change this oil filter out. I have not yet found a great way to do it on this motor, and this is only my third oil change on it, but while the oil's still draining, I'm just going to basically stuff some napkins in here best I can to try to prevent making a mess. I got a piece of cardboard in there. All right. Get this oil filter off of here. And let's just hope that most of the oil drained out and we don't make a mess. Alright, I think we prevented any mess this time. That's pretty good for me. I don't have a good reputation for that. Alright. Clean that up. New oil filter on that bad boy. Perfect. I really like these Yamaha oil filters. Come with lubrication on the seal already, so it's ready to go. All right. What? I did not spill a single drop of oil. That is crazy. Alright, one more time, make sure that this oil is draining out. I think that's about as much as I'm going to get out of it. Plug back in and wipe that down. He's clean in here. I think I saw a drop of oil. Looks good. All right. So motor down. Alright, get some oil in this thing. It says it takes 1.2 US quarts with an oil filter. So we will do our best to put about that in. That looks about like that much. Now generally, if I'm not mistaken, which I could very well be mistaken, when I have added exactly what they told me, that only brought it up to about halfway on the dipstick. And then of course after you started and get oil back through the system again, it changes again. So let us see what we got on the dipstick. You gonna bring that camera around over here? Cameraman. Let's see what we got. Clean that all off. All right, I think I actually got it right at the top there. So that being the case, I am not going to add any more, and I don't have to take any away, so that's good. Check it one more time. Yes, right at the top there. So that's where it's going to stay. All right. Oil, check. Lower unit, next. All right. So we're getting ready to do the lower unit now. I'll clean up some of the dirt from our road on it so that I don't get it mixed in with our gear lube. And clean these out a little bit with the air hose. Alright, that should be good there. Alright, for this we are going to need our handy dandy screwdriver, and actually kind of would like a bigger one. Our bigger handy dandy screwdriver. All right. And let's hope no water. Nobody wants water in their lower unit. That looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any water in it. I don't know, it might be a little milky. Let's see. Might just be the way that that oil is. Take the top plug out so that we can get some air moving. Ooh, almost lost that. All right, I think that that's pretty clean. It's weird because it's a different kind of oil than I'm used to using. So it looks a little murky to me, but I don't think that it has water in it. I'll just let that drain for a minute. All right, now we've got our handy dandy little pump thing. It's almost impossible to do this without one of these pumps, so always make sure you got your pump and everything ready to go before you start a job like this. And somewhere in there it is. All right, get that sealed up. Yeah.
How many O-rings do you need?
Just bring them all.
I think you said them all.
Yep. All right, Matthew just asked me how many O-rings I needed. He's bringing over some new seals for this. We're just gonna pump this in. Should take about half of this bottle. There we go. Nice clean gear lube right there. Thank you, buddy. Can you open one up? I'm gonna need both of them opened.
Yeah, more than one.
Yep, I'm gonna need two opened.
Do I just pop it open?
Yep.
Okay.
After we get done with replacing these, I'll probably pull the prop off and just check that output shaft seal area and make sure that we didn't have any fishing line in there recently.
Don't look like we're going to get done in time where we won't have time to go out to Silver Glen or anything.
No, sometimes you gotta work on things to be able to use them, you know? All right, seal, you didn't drop it on the ground, did you? Let me see one. Awesome. Perfecto. Perfecto. So we want to put this one in first, and then that will block the air. And then that way we can take the bottom one out, put our new our plug back in it, and we won't lose any fluid, or at least not too much fluid in the process. All right. Nice and snug. Okay. Let me get this one ready. All right, got the next seal. Got the next seal ready? Stick it right on there. Perfect. You're a fine helper, you know that? Take this out. Put our plug in. Try to keep my hands somewhat clean. My goodness. That stuff's everywhere, huh? Jeepers creepers. Nothing like the smell of gear lube on everything. Alright, snug that one up. That's good. Get us a handy dandy wipe. Clean this thing up. Clean this up really, really good so we don't get any oil in the water. Probably gonna need another handy dandy wipe. Alright, that's pretty clean. Alright, well there you have it. Alright, so now we're going to take the prop off of here real quick. So, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to straighten this Carter pin out a little bit. Basically, you get it nice and there as straight as you possibly can to where it can move freely, and then you pull it out the other side. There's that. And my trusty assistant Matthew is going to work on pulling this out. You got it? You want me to give it a try? Alright, let me show you a trick. So, sometimes what I like to do, if it's giving me trouble, if I can find the right tool here in the tool bag. Ah, yes. Something like this. A small wee screwdriver that I can stick in like that and then just wiggle it right out. Boom. Now, according to Yamaha, you take a block of wood and you put it in here to block the prop from spinning, while you take your prop removal tool and you place the prop removal tool on the prop nut. And you then, we might actually follow Yamaha's recommendation and get a block of wood because it's on there. And I think I'll go ahead and get a ratchet and a socket. Alright, we have the official Yamaha factory approved block of wood in place now. We have the proper tools for the job. And there we go. Go ahead and finish taking her off, brother. Ooh, don't scratch the paint on it though, whatever you do. Okay, there you go, use it as a ratchet. Alright, taking it off, there we go, you got it off. Alright. Pull this out and remove our prop. Ta-da! Prop off.
It looked like we did a good enough job.
Yeah, we got this little spacer in here we can pull out and make sure there's no signs of damage behind there. And then we look in there. Look, 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 look. Yes, that looks like a output shaft seal of approximately the correct size. We'll take the camera in now. Oh, yes. Now, the lighting's not that great, but you can pretty much see there is a shaft seal right there, and it is in very good shape. And it should be for an engine that only has 200 hours on it now. Still basically brand new. All right. Everything looks good. Throw everything back in there in the order that it was, or the opposite order it was taken off. Boom. Boom.
Can I tighten it and then you can finish it off?
Yep. Alright. Now, when we tighten this, we're not tightening it very hard. We're just kind of just snugging it up a little bit. That's still taking it off.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Alright. Okay, that feels pretty tight. Let me see it. And what I'm looking for now is where the carter pin's going to go through at. And I'm just going to gently rotate it until the opening is lined up. Oh, I went a little too far. Back it off a little bit. Ah, yeah, that looks about right. A little more. Right there. Perfect. All right, carter pin goes back through it. The official reused carter pin. Because it's a John boat, guys. Jeez. I'm sure somebody's going to say, you shouldn't reuse those carter pins. But you know what? I've been reusing carter pins longer than he's been alive. Haven't lost one yet. All right. I'm going to grab our handy dandy pliers. And we're just going to bend that a little bit that way, and bend this one a little bit that way, and kaboom. That sucker's ready to ride. Boom. Anode's looking good. External anode looks excellent. Still need to do the internal anode at some point because we do use this in salt water. Honestly, I don't expect it to be in too bad of condition. I think it's going to actually be in really good condition. And we probably won't have to replace it. So I think that's all we're gonna do for now. We're gonna, oh yeah, we still gotta do the doggone trailer light. The doggone trailer light. All right, well, let's move over there in a second. All right, so they've got some funky trailer wire that they used on here, so I'm really not sure what's what. So my partner Matthew is up there in the truck, and he's going to hit the brakes for me real quick so I can figure out what wire goes where. All right. All right, hit the brakes. No, that's not that one unless I got a bad connection. Ah, it is this one. Okay, so this is the brakes. All right, now put the blinker on for me. I'll tell you what, just hit the hazard light in the middle. All right, there we go. All right, now we know. All right, so we are, oh, where's our trailer lights, man? We don't have our new trailer lights. All right, can you grab them? I'll get these wires cut. Boom.
A knife.
Boom. And I'm actually going to leave that one because we can just put a butt connector on that one. All right.
I need some sharp pliers or something.
Wire's don't look too bad for a boat trailer. Alright. So our new trailer brake lights that I bought over a month ago, but then our boat sat at the marina for basically that length of time while we waited for it to get fixed. This is the one. Okay. Ta-da! Make sure I got the right one. Yeah, I got the right one. Pretty much. Alright, now we are just gonna put some butt connectors on this, and that's all I'm gonna do. I am gonna put some liquid electrical tape on it, and I'm not too worried about it otherwise. What it had from the factory wasn't even that good, so what I'm doing will be slightly better. Oh wow, these crimpers are horrible. They should be ashamed of themselves. Okay. Brown and brown. Those brown wires are going to be for the driving lights, tag light, and then the what they used as a red wire on here, that's actually going to be the brake and the turn signal, which will be yellow on the light itself. Okay, should have a good connection. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of these connected up. All right, let's see, we've got our dielectric grease here. So we're gonna use the dielectric grease for this one that we're keeping this original connector, and we'll just put some of that on there. And plug that one in. Oh, that isn't actually working out as good as I hoped it would. Yep, you know what? We're just gonna cut those off and put another butt connector on it. Cut that off and cut that off. Ooh, now I got grease all over me. Yuck. Right.
You know, socket ones, I like to put it handy.
That one, and this one down. There we go.
You want me to go hit the white lights?
Nope. Oh, yeah, you want to test it?
Yeah.
Sure, let's test it. Haha, wouldn't that be funny if it's all backwards? Alright, when you open the door, basically the driving lights will come on, so it should glow red. Okay, that looks good. Hit the brakes. Ah, we have brakes. We're good. All right.
When is it supposed to turn off?
In a minute. This, you do not want to get this stuff on you. I can promise you that. But man, you want to talk about like sealed up from the elements. Good stuff right here. I thought that it was going bad on me and that I was going to have to get another can of it not too long ago, but this is still working really well.
What way the socket one's supposed to crank? So right now, it will crank when it goes this way.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's which way it goes.
Am I trying to tighten stuff or lighten?
We'll be tightening it when we put these on.
So if I go
You know, I probably have to go back on what I said. It is probably time for a new can of this stuff.
so this is right, Dad?
Alright, let me make sure I got it all around. I got it on everything but me so far, I think. Alright, I think I got a good seal. We'll let that kind of harden up a little bit on the outside for a few minutes before I go stuffing it in there and getting it all over me. And we'll use that time to clean up a little bit. What an awesome idea, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Oh, yuck. Starting with me. Good old. Stuff these wires in here. Before I do that too far, though, I need to put these in. You know what? I actually think that's the wrong spot. Yep. Creepers. Alright, there we go. And there's the other one. Stuff this wire in here without getting this stuff all over me. Probably should have let that sit for a little longer. Route these wires so they don't get squished.
You know, Dad, me and Haley did a favor for Mom.
Yeah.
You know what it was?
I don't know. Was it nice though?
Sort of. Making her not. Well, at the time it was. Well, not really, but I don't. We stopped her from going to see the Dogman movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we technically did her a favor. Or she would be paying money to leave the movie right away.
That did seem like a bit of a silly movie, didn't it?
I know, you know why too? Because I watch it, see if it would get better. To look like.
Alright. Put a little. I don't want to over tighten these because these lights are very, very cheaply made. Hopefully that will stay on there. That'll work. Alright, we got lights. Good, right?
Yeah.
Now maybe we won't get a ticket.
And we have an oil change on the motor.
Yeah, you know what? I think maybe it's time we go ahead and put a screw in that so that we're not just driving around with it waiting to fall off. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's put a bolt on that. Alrighty, well, that was pretty much that. We've got our oil changed.
Yep.
What else did we do?
Put your trailer light on.
Trailer light, check.
And
Lower unit.
yeah, lower unit.
All right. And we already had greased everything up the other day. We put a new water pump in it, so she should be ready to go for a bit longer. Now, my brother just showed up, and he's here to borrow the tractor because he's got to go over and do some maneuvering over there.
That's right.
At the big red barn.
That's right.
So let's get that thing out of here and get that tractor loaded up.
So over here we had a little incident. We tried hooking up the trailer, but then the trailer fell off of the hitch somehow.
Alright, well, thanks for joining us today for getting our stuff maintained and ready to go again. We hope you enjoyed watching. I know I always enjoy watching some of this kind of thing where people just, taking their time and working on their equipment. So anyways, regardless if you enjoyed or not, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and join us on our next adventure video.